Hi there, welcome along to another edition of Igaga CFM Sports Unlocked right here on the Big G. Kamalamu Ayanda Waganyuswa, and I'm going to be your host for this week's edition of Ish Show. We are still focusing largely on football with regards to FIFA World Cup. The action is obviously currently underway. Lapa USA, Mexico, Nasa Canada, and of course our huge focus is Ibafana Bafana with our next Group A game coming up shortly against Czechia in Atlanta. Ngolwesine ebusuku on our side. So joining me today is football journalist Esim Kanjubovu, Robin Duke Madlala. Machukuchuku, thank you so much for your time and for joining us on Gaga CFM.
Thank you, Ayanda. Thank you so much for inviting me here. Yeah.
Voit, my first question, Usurika Ville, from from what we saw. Bafana. I know a lot has happened since then. Amanyama Games, the World Cup, but obviously that will be our main focus today.
That's the beauty of the World Cup. Even before the World Cup started, there were so many things about America, genders being bad. You look at what is happening in Thomas Partey in Canada. He can't go to Canada for Ghana. But once the football get going, we forgot about Bafana disaster game against Mexico. But you know what? We were going to be up against it. Look at Mexico, looking in the world ranking, guys. There are 15 in the world. And also, I was looking at prior games, 8 games. They won 6 and they drew 2. And those 2 games was against Belgium and Portugal. Those 2 draws. So, we were. And then looking at us, we were last won against Zimbabwe in the AFCON. Remember, in the last group where we had to win. Remember, because we beat Angola in a group, and then we lost to Egypt, and then we beat Zimbabwe to go through the next stage, and then we lost to round of 16. That was the last time we won.
We won a game, yes.
We won. And then when you count the game against Cameroon round of 16, and then you look at the 2 friendly games against Panama, you play against Jamaica. We went there not at our best when it comes to momentum. We were not at our best, and then the coach comes and do a formation that was very crazy that no one expected to. It was just a disaster from onset. We were not at our best. If Mexico was sharp enough, it could have been worse.
Yeah,
I thought we were lucky that Mexico finished the game with 2-0. For me, it could have been worse the way we were so poor. We were absolutely poor. It was a disaster the way we performed.
Yeah. Because like I said, you mentioned the fact that Mexico be with former rights going into a World Cup, not on form, but you still have to play a ground in Ichuk. You still have to show the impetus on your side. You still have to put the right formation, the right players. You know, and we completely didn't do that with Game of
That's another thing. I was disappointed with the character from our boys. You know, we have players who played in the CAF Champions League. I mean, we played in some of the players played in Morocco in Abdallah Stadium where Sanders played against Farabat. I thought that character may come out. That I've experienced this level, but you look at guys. Started at Zeka Stadium. That stadium is iconic. Everyone aspired. If you're a football player, you want to play in that venue because it's got that iconic. You know, the late Pelé when they won the 1970 when Brazil won the World Cup. Pelé was led that Brazilian side. You look at 1986, the late Maradona led Argentina to that World Cup. So at Zaka Stadium, it became a first venue in the FIFA World Cup history to play 3 opening games of the World Cup. So that one is only to tell you that the world stage is on my face. You have to perform. If you don't have any motivation playing that game, a coach can't do anything with that. We can do technical, but when you play in such a game and at such a venue, and you knew even before the game that the eyes of the world was going to be in that game because it was predicted over 1 billion people are going to watch the game. So what motivation do? You're not talking about a derby here. You play 90,000 people here at the different places. We talk about the eyes of the world where over 1 billion people are going to pay. And in the venue that's close to 90,000. So what more do you want? The players have also let themselves down. They should have done something better. But also the coach was absolutely at fault that we didn't have any outlet in that game. No outlet. You know, okay. Yes, you may say he was not scared of attacking because we got two centre forward, Lyle Foster and Ikram Renner. But who's going to supply them?
Exactly. Where was the midfield?
Who was going to supply them? Because in the midfield we were overrun. You know, there was another thing that disappointed me. As much as we had the back 4, but there was some spaces in front of the back 4. There were a lot of gaps. Even that goal, okay, Pele's story was pressed and stuff. But that front four or five, someone must come out and cut the danger.
Yeah.
Someone was no one. The awareness was just awful, and then unfortunately we don't have a Stole who has been, for me, has been awful for close to now since the AFCON in Ivory Coast in 2004. 2024. He has been awful. I expected Hugo Bruce to start with Jaden Adams. Adams has been the best player for Sundowns in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the amount of the game against FAR Rabat in the Champions League. He was so good. He stopped everything in that number 6 role. He was very good. I was disappointed why he didn't start him, but as knowing Bruce, he's always got loyalty to his players. So for me, and I'm happy that this Stole won't be played against Czech Republic because we need Jaden Adams to come and balance that midfield here. And then unfortunate for Themba Zwane, I think this must be it for Themba Zwane. I'm sorry to say this, but yeah, it should be it now.
He still has Angithi Phelu suspended for one game, so you wouldn't want to play him in that last game against Korea.
We can't be carrying our hopes on Themba Zwane now. Going forward, we can't.
Why is that? Do you feel with
he has run his race, guys? He has run his race. Sundowns have given him an extension contract for next season. You know, I mean, that was just a token because of what he has done. But when you look at on the field, that ACL injury that Themba Zwane suffered against DR Congo in October 2024. It took a lot of guys. We support Liverpool. You saw how Van Dijk was. Even in that knee, when you look at his left knee, you can see it's not the same with the right knee. You know,
changes you forever.
Yeah, it changes for because it's like part of your body has been taken away. It's like ripped off in your body.
Yeah.
That injury, it takes a lot. I mean, I was even listening to Roger Federer, a tennis superstar. He said that injury is the worst injury ever one can suffer. So I'm not disappointed. I'm not surprised with Themba Zwane starting to get the form. I understand also, Bruce, maybe I'll bring him on at that minute because, you know, you were trying to do something, but we had to go for it. Themba Zwane doesn't have the legs anymore. Post this World Cup, Themba Zwane should not be considered for the new coach that is taking over for the AFCON September qualified at the beginning for Pamoja in 2027.
Quickly, before see a quick game, check here. Just lastly on the Mexico game, because we've dwelt a lot on that particular game. But why do you feel Hugo Bruce is having this defensive approach? I mean, we've seen it with AFCON, even the previous one, Dlala with 3 at the back. And we've seen for the longest time, Bafana Dlala with that free attacking football, no fear, even against teams like Morocco with AFCON. We've played without any fear. We've been brave. We've been attacking. So why do you feel now he feels the need to defend on the world stage where we see teams like Cape Verde, where we see other African teams, not to say but they have that character, and you are born in the approach they are there to play. The likes of Senegal, the likes of Morocco. These are teams that we can play against. So why do you feel our coach, and we beat Morocco in the AFCON, so why do you feel our coach is so defensive?
I think Hugo Bruce went in that game with the mentality that, you know, I don't want to lose. If I get a point here, and then let's see what happened against Czech Republic and South Korea. Unfortunately, it backfired big time. As I said, it backfired big time. As I said, my thinking was that the way he went at the game, I think he was scared of Mexico. But also, you must understand, you're playing against a host. As I said, it's a world-famous venue. It's a World Cup qualifier. I mean, it's a World Cup match. And then we are back in a FIFA World Cup stage for the first time in 16 years. And Hugo Bruce, remember, as much as he played in 1986 World Cup in Mexico, at the very same venue where Maradona ran him ragged in 1986 semi-final, it was the first time for him also coaching in the World Cup. You must also understand that Hugo Bruce...
So inexperience on his side.
It was not inexperienced at the time, because when he played in 1986, our champion, the FIFA World Cup, Hugo Bruce was 34. You know, after that, Hugo Bruce never played in the World Cup. He never coached in the World Cup. He might have won the AFCON in Cameroon, but he was not there when Cameroon qualified in 2014 in the World Cup. He was not there. So it was... I remember I asked him about this when we played like in Nicaragua, that, Coach, how much of a challenge for you that this Bafana squad has never played in the World Cup. All of them have never played in the World Cup. You yourself have never coached in the World Cup. So he was facing so many challenges because of also for us being the first in 16 years that we were playing in the World Cup. So he was up against it. I understand the formation and they went, but it backfired so much. I hope he had learned against Czech, because the thing is about Czech Republic, you look at Thomas Souček, you know, he's been relegated with West Ham in England. You know, we have to hope that if we can get a win. But also, as you know, in this World Cup, as it expanded to 48 teams, is there are also 83rd best.
Yes.
You know how it comes that also you fixture that with the discipline. You already on 2 red card. You're on a back foot also.
Yeah.
So that
already.
so that means these 2 games against Czech Republic and South Korea, you have to win, because when it comes to discipline, because remember that also come into question if
I'm a point,
yes, I'm a point Lingano or Sasal, they're gonna bring a discipline front.
Yeah.
So now you're already on 2 red card. That on its own, you're on a back foot.
Sure.
You're not even considered for discipline.
Let's talk about Czechia now, our next game. Firstly, obviously, Usu Kulmilin Dabagamshishi, and obviously he wasn't going to play anyway. But who are you playing in specifically these 2 departments, Eswini as well as our attack? Do you change the formation completely?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. You can't.
And who are you playing? You
can't go with the 5-3-2 against Czech Republic. You know, I watched them on Friday morning against South Korea. Yeah. Guys, that South Korea team is not a pap and fleece.
Yeah.
They are ranked 25th in the world. You know, they are not small boys. And you look at the squad that they have, Lee Kang Hin. I mean, he just won the Champions League with Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
You know, they got Heung Min Son. You know, many people, of course, they know him at Spurs, and right now he might be the 12th of his career. But against Czech Republic, we just have to win. You know, they are not a good side. I mean, they are not a good side.
Largely focus on set pieces as well.
Yeah, because they've got the guys who are tall, so we have to be strong defensively. So that's why if Hugo Bruce, because for you to defend set play, you need to have a big boys. So yes, Mbogazi, we have to find someone who's going to treat it Mbogazi. I will go for Ndamane right now, because as much as Ndamane said, but he's a left-sided centre-back. When Morocco reached a semi-final in 2022, their centre-back pairing were 2 left-sided centre-back, Saise and Aguet.
Yeah.
Were the left-footed players.
So it's doable.
It's doable. And look at Ndamane, what he has done with Sundowns since he came. Ndamane, you look at the Champions League final. I will go with him because he's also good in the air. He's a big and a strong boy. We need to defend ourselves in set play, because these guys, they're going to throw this ball right in the goal mouth. They're going to float this ball right in the goal mouth. And then if you don't have people who are tall, then you're going to have a problem. So he has to change the formation. I will go with the flat back 4. Mudau, of course, and Modiba and the Mbogazi and Ndamane. In the midfield, I will bring the Mdab. I mean, Mbata and then Jaden Adams. Guys, I still think that we need to try Mokoena in the number 10, because from set play and also, you know, for those loose ball, you know, if an opponent trying to clear ball, and then because it's got a very good technique, you know, it's got an accuracy, it's got a very good technique, and then as in the number 10, let's just see, you know, how it works. And then you can change around in the second half. Maybe you withdraw Mbata or you withdraw, Jaden Adams, and then you can include maybe Mofokeng in the number 10. Then you pull back Mokoena in the 2, number 6. And then on the left, I like Moseko. I really like Maseko because
over
Moremi.
That's over Moremi, okay?
I like Maseko because it's on your face. We need to
It's
attack.
direct.
Yeah, it's direct. It's on your face. Whenever you got a ball, it's on your face. Like Desiree do a kind of football player. I like someone who like that. We're gonna come on your face. Who's gonna eliminate one for one. So the minute eliminate, open up a space for us. Unfortunately, we don't have someone who's clinical up top, because we talk about the issue of Lyle Foster. Lyle Foster, guys, he's come from a relegated club. Lyle Foster did not part of the Bafana in the AFCON because he had the mental issues. How is he mentally right now when he's relegated with the club?
He played in the last AFCON though, and he scored 4 goals.
In the last AFCON, but he's coming in this World Cup. His club is relegated.
So it's a confidence thing.
Exactly, and he was not even after they fired Scott Parker. He didn't play the last 5 games. He didn't play the last 5 games. So my question is, I will go with the Makgopa. Makgopa presses. He presses. He even when if you remember, even when we won we got a bronze medal. Makgopa was the one who was working hard. As much as people were saying he didn't score, but he scored against Morocco. You know what I'm saying? He ran the line and then he finished it off. So I would like someone who's going to ensure that they don't play from the back. They don't beat it from the back. So I would say Makgopa up top, and then on the right, Apolis. I like Apolis to come back in the middle. Or also maybe Apolis have him in number 10 and say Jaden Adams and then Mokoena, and then having a police in number 10, because he was doing that at Polokwane City. He knows that position, and then you can say maybe Morem on the left, on the left, and then Maseko on the side, and then have one up top, and either one. But I'll go for Makgopa right now. But if not the case, then have Jaden Edem Mbata, and then Mokoena, a police, Maseko, and then Makgopa, and then the two number 6 Mbata and Adams, and then of course the back four for me. We can just make one change by putting Ndamane alongside Mbata.
Okay, one might question the inclusion of Makgopa over Reyners. What's the particular reason for you?
The thing about Reyners, he's like a player of Mabas. He has to need a service, and then he doesn't press. That's the reason why Pirates let go of Mabas, because as much as he was scoring goals, but the defending start where at the top. So unfortunately he can't do that. He can't drop deep. He's someone who likes to be saved. Yeah. So in the game against Czech Republic, where for sure you're not going to have a lot of proposition, and then what is he going to be doing? Yeah. You look at the situation of Mbappe yesterday. He was the least player to touch the ball in the first half against Senegal.
Yeah.
But we talk about Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe would drop deep. He was very skillful. Imagine in the World Cup match where you need a point. So I will go for Makgopa for me.
I know DR Congo haven't played yet.
Yeah,
but
they're playing today. Yeah.
Do you believe we've been the worst African team to perform or play at this World Cup so far? Worse than Tunisia?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to go. Tunisia were just awful. I mean, even us, we played against draw against them in the AFCON, we were awful in the group in 2024. They've been worse, and they fired Sambre Lamouchi as a coach right now. They've been the worst. I mean, you lose to Sweden, guys. Sweden, they were qualified for the World Cup because they did well in the Nations. They didn't qualify through the group stage. I mean, the qualified question in Europe. They were just absolutely awful. I mean, our player even Isaac scored in that game in those 5-1 goals. So they were just so bad. I think Tunisia and then us, we've been terrible. I can't speak bad about Senegal. Senegal, we were playing against the top dog.
Yes, I was about to go there.
The favorite. I mean, Senegal. Yes. I mean, France, guys. That front four up top.
Incredible.
Look at Olise. Olise, guys.
Yeah.
I really wish Deschamps can play number 10. We understand the Ballon d'Or guy, but what is he doing the Ballon d'Or?
Yeah. No, Dembele is not a 10.
Yeah, it's not
we saw it in the first half.
I think Dembele must play on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Have Olise in number 10, because really, you saw that difference between pass and then Mbappe just finishes off. So I won't say Senegal were poor. They competed well. I mean, they could have scored. I mean, Jackson hit the post. Unfortunately, the body came in the leg of Mike Magnan. It could have been in on another day. So we were second worst. Tunisia was. I won't talk ill about Senegal. Senegal will reach the knockout stages for sure.
So for you, is it, in terms of the best in Africa, is it still Senegal and Morocco?
Yeah, Morocco.
We saw Morocco against Brazil.
Yeah. Morocco are on another level because they are benefiting with diaspora, guys. How many players in that team that mostly played are playing in
born in Europe?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not even born in Europe. How many of them are playing in Botola League in Morocco? None of them.
None of them. Yeah.
The goalkeeper that they have is a third choice. He play for Far Rabat.
Yeah.
He was there. But do you think he's going to play ahead of Boone? We have seen Boone. Absolutely no chance. You look at the right back, the best right back in the world. For me, a player that is almost in the same level as Dani Alves, Ashraf Hakim.
Yeah.
They got Issa Diop now he played for Fulham. They just got him now. He's the age of 29. But look how composed he was because he's playing at that higher level. Look at the Boadi boy, that number 18-year-old guy with the long hair. How good he was as running number that midfield. They really got a very good side. Morocco will go through in that group.
Yeah.
They played very well against Brazil. They could have won the game. It's just that I don't think they have a very good centre forward up top. The matches they've reached the AFCON final this year with El Nasir and stuff, but they don't have a
killer.
Yeah, a killer. I'll make an example of Kerry Kane, kind of. They don't have the centre forward. They've done well in all other departments, but they don't have a centre forward. They did proper. They just smell the blood and then score goals. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can probably even say the same with Senegal. I mean, we saw Ismail Assar yesterday, and Jackson really struggling. But do you feel? I mean, there is a sense that Amatima Africa have sort of like closed a gap in terms of
yeah.
equality and competing against these top teams. Sabone Morocco we World Cup edlule reaching the semi-finals. Athina chances of African teams sort of like replicating that performance that we saw from Morocco. Not only them, but also a Senegal and also like a Cote d'Ivoire are the only team that has won. We haven't seen Ghana.
Yes, yeah.
You know, so what are the chances of Africa getting into those quarterfinals, getting into those semi-finals again of the World Cup?
You have to highlight those two.
Yeah.
Those two, because look at the ranking. Morocco are 8 in the world, guys. 8 in the world. Senegal, I think, is 16 or 18 in the world. So we have to highlight those two. I think those two, because the depth that they have. I mean, when you look at the Senegal yesterday, as I said, of course, we are playing with the superstars, with France. You know, I expect Senegal to go all the way. But they've also, I mean, disappointed me even in the World Cup. I mean, we still talk about the class of 2002, well, Alhaji Diop, Fadiga, you know.
They should be doing better.
Yeah, they should be doing better, because even the previous AFCON, they lost in the round of 16 to England. I mean, England, guys. You know, England that was beaten by France in the quarterfinals. So they are a nation that have, I think those two might go far. Senegal, I mean Morocco. Morocco, I think they will be the last nation that will also do us very proud in this AFCON. I mean this World Cup. Senegal might go, but you can see there's a naivety there in some way that, you know, as much as they've got superstars, but they are found wanting in some stage when they say, now let's go, let's see, there's a semi-final spot in front of us. I don't think they have that compared to Morocco.
All right, Sesivala Machukuchuku, as we speak right now, Portugal iyadlala namhlanje. By the time we're recording this, izobe ingakadlali. We've seen France, we've seen Argentina, we're yet to see England, we're yet to see Portugal, the Netherlands, as well as Portugal. But based on what you have seen, kulama game so far with World Cup, and also games prior to the World Cup for lama team angakadlali, who are you seeing as the likeliest
to win the World Cup?
Or the strongest from what you've seen? I mean, we saw Messi scoring a hat-trick, Argentina defending champions. We saw Mbappe continuing where he left off in Qatar. So when we bona iyangakuphi World Cup?
The first games is like you are testing the water.
Yeah, so you can't judge them on the first game.
You can't judge on the first game. You're just testing the water, because you say Cape Verde, guys, against Spain. How many clearance Cape Verde did? Spain even hit the post. You know, Spain should have won that game even by 5-0 or 6-0 game on any day. They were clinical. Those are my number one right now is France and Spain.
Yeah. So you still, so despite that Cape Verde performance, you still believe Spain? Because I mean, they were. You talk about my chances about Tolile, but I think creatively they were actually quite poor ugly at game. From the Spain that we know, even if you saw like a team like Germany putting away a Curacao 7-1, you know, you could see the creativity. Germany is not on the level of Spain at the moment,
France as well,
but you could see the creativity to try and bypass the low block, and I didn't see that from Spain.
I didn't see that but they did. If you remember, there were so many balls that were floated on the side, especially Cucurella now with joined Real Madrid. There was a where he knocked it back like this, and then of course they couldn't finish. There were so many that went behind. You know, of course he's a fullback, but no one was finishing it off. I mean, of course the issue is about Yamil Yamal right now, because of he's got an injury issue. So you saw it, guys. Even when he came, that outside of his foot, it went to the man. You know, that was another chance created, and then Spain couldn't finish. For me, when you look at the balance of the midfield that they have with Rodri, Pedri, and Fabian Luiz, guys.
One of the best in the tournament.
You know, when you talk about Fabian Ruiz has been one of the best midfielders. He was very unlucky even not to win the Ballon d'Or for me, even in 2024 when it went to Rodri. Fabian Ruiz, guys, whenever he's in that midfield, either for PSG or Spain, he is just solid. And then when you have someone like Rodri, and then Pedri is in between. He's Iniesta and Xavi. You can't go close to Pedri. You can't press him. You can't press him. So Spain, for me, will pick their way through. they've got a very good side, you know, to go all the way and win. I mean, their second World Cup, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, France also, France, they look mean because of that front four guys. I mean, Desiree Doué and Mbappe, Michael Olise and Dembele, and also remember you still got Bradley Barcola who came and then knocked it over in the second goal. So that front line, that's why the France are absolutely better than dangerous than any other side. Right now, they're number one and Spain number two.
Hi, you've heard it from the man, Machuguchugu. Thank you so much for your time. I've personally as well, I also have France as right up there as the favorites for this particular World Cup. But you can never rule out the likes of Spain and Argentina.
Portugal. They've got a very good team. Vitinha and João Neves in that midfield. And then when you add someone like who broke the record in the Premier League with assist, Bruno Fernandes. So
strong
team
team.
As a number 10. And then you leave these two guys do the dirty work that they've been doing with Paris Saint-Germain. Then very got a good side. But also got Nuno Mendes in the left foot. But, gosh. oh, my word.
Big fan.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Nuno Mendes. I'm a big fan. He ran his socks off. So Portugal, I'm excited to watch Portugal. I think they would go as far as semi-final. But I think when they face a nation like Spain and France,
they
might fall short.
Yeah.
But of course, they still have the Matala, a 41-year-old Ronaldo, who still want to defy the odds. I mean, he's still going on.
Yeah.
I understand because you can't rely on Gonzalo Ramos as well. He's not even playing Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain at the moment right now. So they might go far in the semi-final, but they've got a very good team. They will be very dangerous also Portugal. If anyone, let me just say, if anyone maybe can write them off, don't write them off. As much as the last time they had the best World Cup was 1966, but they are still a good side. They are still a good side, Portugal.
Right, Portugal off at your own peril. Duke, thank you so much for your time. Siyabonga kakhulu Mtakababa, and all obviously looking forward to it. Game Bafana Bafana, that's happening ngolwesine ebusuku. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. Bafana Bafana looking for that first 3 points, and more importantly, which is shy bounce back after losing that opening game against Mexico. That's a wrap of this week's edition of the Gaga CFM Sports Unlocked. We're going to be back with more next week.